What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're not doing anything mechanical related on the car. We're working on a little bit of restoration project. So the car's been sitting all winter long, and while we're waiting for summer or spring to come around so we can get some work done on the transmission to install the LSD, I want to go ahead, clean up the car, areas that I can kind of bring it back to better overall appearance, if you want to call it that. And a few areas I want to tackle on the car is all the black trim around here where the wipers are, this plastic trim piece here, in the engine bay. And what I want to do with it is bring the black finish back to life. And one product that I've been recommended to go to for doing such a thing is this Solutions Finish. I'll bring this up a little bit closer for you guys. So this product here is a black trim restorer, and what it's used for is rubber, vinyl, plastic. And I've tried this out on some other black trim pieces, and the way it's done is by applying it with a sponge, kind of like this right here, and you apply it and you soak up the area and you let it sit on there. And you don't want to let it dry, but it says if you leave it on there for about 2 to 3 minutes, you can take a towel and buff off the excess solution. Now this is more like a dye. It's not like a tire shine type finish that lasts, maybe a couple weeks. This is supposed to last much longer, because like I said, it's a dye. It's a black dye essentially, and you want to wear some gloves when you working with this, because it can stain your hands, and you don't want to get it on any finish that does not have a clear coat or any protected barrier on, because you could potentially stain it. So what I want to do is I want to tackle these areas over here. Show you guys this whole plastic trim piece and this one up here. And you want to be in a somewhat of a warmer environment. It's about 50 degrees right here right now in my garage, so I think it's warm enough to use this. So what I want to do is I want to start applying this carefully with this applicator and see what it could turn out. And I'm going to take some pictures of the before and after, and I want to show you guys the difference on the finish at least. And they say if it's it works best on surfaces that have like small pores, or it's textured. That way this solution can really get in there and fall in place within all the little textured grooves and such, and really do a good job in bringing any trim back to life. So I kind of want to show you guys the before on this trim piece working with. You can tell there's scuffs and it's been a little worn down. This doesn't get exposure to the sun really, so you don't see much of a difference when it comes to areas that do get hit by the sun. Turn on the light so you guys can see better. You can see, you start seeing fade, and eventually leads to tiger striping. You start seeing that. And what you want to do before you start applying this stuff is they recommend you take rubbing alcohol and removing any grease or any waxes on the surfaces that you're going to be working with. So I went ahead and wiped everything down with some rubbing alcohol to get it all cleaned up, and we're going to start applying. So you just want to make sure you shake the product really good. This has some type of weight in there that's going to mix the solution. As you guys can see in the video here, this is like black dye pretty much that you're working with, so you want to be careful. I should be wearing gloves, but hey. Alright guys, so we applied this everywhere. I got kind of carried away and started applying at any black trim, including the fuse box, cover. So you can see wet right now. Right in here. We got all into the nooks and crannies up here. So what we're gonna do now is just let it sit. I assume longer it sits here, the better. And we're gonna come back and buff it off with a towel and see the difference. I should have stopped halfway and put a tape on the trim and compare it before and after, but what happens when you're having fun. Alright, we're gonna let this sit and then come back and start buffing it off. So we've had it on here for about half an hour now, and I decided to put on some gloves because this part could get pretty messy as we're buffing off the excess dye, but it's up to you if you want to use gloves or not. But I feel like this has been here long enough now to where it's soaked in pretty good into the plastic. So we're just gonna start somewhere, probably hitting up bigger surfaces first. So I'll show you guys off right now. The finish, you can tell how much better it is right now from before. It looks amazing. Like I said, there's areas I need to go over with a towel again, but wow, what a great finish. This was definitely worth the time and effort. So give it a try. If you guys like it, let me know down in the comments. But I think this is a great success, and should last for a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this up with a towel one more time, get any leftover material off, and move on to the next job. Thanks for watching.